echoes of despair. There are places where reality blurs, where the veil between worlds thins, and the deepest fears manifest. One such place is Silent Hollow, an isolated town shrouded in perpetual fog. Few remember its name. Fewer still speak of those who ventured there and never returned. The town isn't on any map, as if the world itself forgot it. Or perhaps it chose to. The return. Elena Hart had never intended to go back. Silent Hollow was her childhood home, a place she'd buried deep in memory. The night her family vanished, the town had sealed itself in her mind like a scar. But a letter arrived with only one sentence. They're still here. Drawn by a compulsion she couldn't explain, Elena returned. The road twisted and narrowed, the trees closing in. Then, as if she had crossed an invisible threshold, the fog appeared. Thick, suffocating, swallowing sound. At the entrance, the old Welcome to Silent Hollow sign stood crooked, rusted. Below it, someone had scratched words into the metal. No one leaves. The echoes begin. The town was lifeless, yet alive. Buildings loomed like forgotten giants, windows shattered, streets cracked and overgrown. The silence was oppressive, broken only by distant, distorted sounds, like echoes of memories. Elena felt it immediately, the presence, an unseen weight pressing down, eyes watching from the mist. The deeper she went, the more the town seemed to shift. Streets she remembered led to dead ends, familiar houses twisted into grotesque shapes. Then the whispers began, soft at first, like leaves rustling, then clear, voices she knew. Elena, come find us. The other side. In the center of town stood the old school, abandoned, decaying. As she entered, the fog thickened, walls closing in. She saw shadows, figures moving just beyond sight. They looked like her family. She followed the whispers down to the basement, to a door that hadn't been there before. It opened into a place that wasn't the school anymore. Another version of Silent Hollow. Darker, twisted, rusted metal walls, floors slick with something red. Manifestations of fear. In this other Silent Hollow, the town had a mind of its own. It knew her fears, her guilt. It showed her things she didn't want to see. Rooms changed as she entered them. Her childhood bedroom turned into a rotting cell. Her mother's voice, calling from behind walls that bled. The town was feeding on her. Creatures lurked in the shadows, twisted forms that once might have been human. Their faces were blank, their movements jerky. They whispered her name. The truth revealed. In the center of the other town stood the church, broken, twisted, its steeple reaching like a claw. Inside, an altar, covered in names, her family's names. A figure stood there, not a person, a thing made of shadows, shifting, eyes hollow. It spoke with many voices. You left them. You forgot them. Now, you are part of us. Elena realized the truth. Silent Hollow wasn't a place. It was a trap, a manifestation of guilt, fear, and despair. Those who entered brought their darkness with them, and the town fed on it. The final choice. The shadow offered her a choice. Stay, and you will join them. Leave, and you will forget again. She looked at the shadows of her family, their eyes empty. If she stayed, she would be lost. But if she left, they would stay trapped. She made her choice. The exit, or a loop. Elena stumbled out of the fog, back onto the road. The town was gone. She looked back and saw nothing but forest. But as she drove away, the fog lingered in her mind. And in the rearview mirror, for just a moment, she saw Silent Hollow, waiting. Some places never let you go. Cloudy.